This is the Darker Tanned Asians podcast. Joe, back to this.
I need a tan.
Actor, you guys. It looks like you guys have a tan. Yeah. Actor, filmmaker, director, stuntman. Right, Joe. And he's taking over for our good friend Omar. Omar Strongtower. Yes. That's his.
Omar's the
he's sleeping right now because he has to get up at 2 a.m., which is around now. Yeah. East Coast? No,
oh my gosh.
So 1 hour from now. Yeah.
He's on that Ohio life.
Exactly. So, so yes, we are here with Eric Lum and Judy Lay, who are a couple. They are a couple from Las Vegas, and they're actors.
Woo!
Right? Yeah, exactly. Woo! And you know, I had the privilege to meet them on set for a film. We didn't do too long ago, and again, it's still in the process of shooting. It's still going, and you know, it was just my experience with them has just been awesome because the first day, actually the second day, excuse me, Judy, the second day because the first day you went there, but the second day I got to meet both of them. I met Eric first, and then I met Judy the second day, and when I was speaking to them for like a few minutes, I knew they were like, okay, they're awesome. I gotta have a chill relationship with them, yeah, and. Here we are, and I appreciate them. They're just good people, and we clicked right away. So when I asked them to come on the podcast, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And you know, it was just like that. So here we are, and easy peasy, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we want to, you know, again, they are a wonderful couple, excuse me, and we're gonna get with the questions. Okay, so again, they are a couple from Vegas. I want to. Ask you guys how did you guys meet? And how did you guys get into acting?
Well, we met in biology lab summer school in UNLV.
University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So
Nevada, Las Vegas, yeah.
We're a bunch of nerds.
I mean, we're all nerds.
Asian nerds.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were pre-med or heading in that direction. It was my first time taking that part. No, it was my second time too. It was both our second time taking that class, and we had to do a library research project, and she jumped in front of me as I was heading towards the escalator to go home.
I didn't jump out in front of
just she was like asking if I wanted to work on the project with her, and I was like, oh yeah, of course. So yeah,
and then what, like 15 years later, right?
And then 15 years later, yeah.
15 years later, you guys are here. 5 years, guys? 5 years of marriage?
Married for 5, yeah.
Wow. Married for 5 years.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That is great. So
I'm engaged. We're going to be married in 2022 to Elise. I think she's in the chat. But
nice. Congrats.
Yeah, she's an actress too. But super jealous of you guys. Already getting it done and then getting to act with each other. That's always really cool. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
You guys too.
Oh, thank you. Stop.
You stop.
Yeah, me and Victor are a couple too.
I kind of sensed that.
Elise. Oh, there you go. Elise.
She knows her brothers, honestly.
Do you want to say, Joe, that we sort of we met on set. Joe did this brilliant short film.
Nice.
And I sort of played it, not a biological brother, but like an older brother figure. Yeah. Is that what it is?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll definitely let you guys check it out too. It's a great message. It's basically all along the lines of what this podcast is about, really, and then some.
It's about like being a struggling Asian filmmaker and actor out here in Hollywood, getting eaten up by Hollywood, and that's how me and Victor met, and just hitting it off ever since.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's like 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. 4 years being a couple. Oops, sorry, Elise. She's on right there, by the way. By the way, Merry Christmas.
Very nice. Merry Christmas.
And so, yeah, you guys. Okay, so you guys met in biology class, and how did you guys get into acting? Like, what? I mean, you guys. What major? What were your majors? If you don't mind me asking.
Biology.
Okay, so you guys start pre-med. Okay,
pre-med,
so what inspired you guys to get into the acting field? Was it a childhood thing, or what was it? Especially living in Vegas, which is obviously not LA, but really relatively close to. So what inspired you guys to get into acting?
I mean, it was always a childhood dream.
Yeah.
I think for both of us, you know, she loves to sing as well. She leans a lot towards singing, and I love to sing too, but she's better at it. But what's it called? You know, we just decided right before COVID happened, like in February.
Yeah, right before COVID, we started taking classes, tests.
Yeah.
We're talking about school, like test.
Yeah, she just said, like, you know, why not try it? You know,
right?
We have this one life to try to do something we really want to do, and
right.
Said, you know, let's try it.
Check it out. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You know.
Right. No, and you know what? I think Joe can attest to this as well. But and you guys too. The hardest step to get into this field is actually taking that first step.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it's you know, Joe's from New Jersey, so he made it. You know, he made that trek all the way here.
Yeah, you know how the film scene is in Jersey.
So you know, that's the hardest step is to actually want to do it, right? Whether it's getting your headshots first, getting a reel, doing student films, and you know, whatever
it's a whole
it is.
Business,
it's a whole business, and it's preparing, and really it's changing your lifestyle, if you will.
Really
going for that big dream. So what you guys are doing is amazing, and so. Joe, I mean, you have a question for him. I think a specific question for him.
Yeah, I did want to ask you guys. So me and Elise are a couple that both act.
Awesome.
And it's just, I always feel like there's, you know, advantages to that because you get to share in both your defeats, your victories.
Yeah.
You get to figure out, you get a nice perspective. Like, you know, you can ask, hey, what do you think of these headshots? Which one do you think is my best one to submit for, submit with? What is that like for you guys to be a couple that both started acting around the same time? Excelling at acting. I heard you guys are getting a good amount of work coming through. And what is it like, you know, on that journey together as both a couple, married couple, Asian married couple, and acting? Tell me a lot about that.
I think it's definitely nice to have the support from the get-go. Definitely being able to dive in together, it strengthened us tremendously. Like I honestly couldn't imagine like going after it on my own. Because for so many years, I didn't go after it like on my own. So I needed an extra push and an extra support person because it is a lot of rejection. It is a lot of, you know, like heartache sometimes too, because you're just like wondering, you know, did I get it? You know, after, you know, like so many auditions and you're just like, oh, you know, hear back. But that's the process, you know, and it really helps to have somebody with you along the whole entire journey because otherwise you're like lost.
Right. Right.
It's been a real,
and our mentors and our trainers, our teachers and our manager and our agents, like they're very supportive too, and our families.
And it's awesome. You know, we're very lucky that we do everything together, you know, even prior to acting, we do everything together. We learn together. We do different, you know, careers
I think that's very
together
important in a
like
relationship, you know.
Yeah, and to really have each other in the same industry and understanding what we're going through and what we're striving for, it's just an awesome experience.
Yeah, you don't have to really repeat yourself like in your day-to-day processes because he's already there with me and I'm already there with him. Like we don't have to like wonder or like ask or second guess either.
Right.
And it makes us braver to have a teammate to tackle it.
It really
exactly.
Right.
I mean, you guys can do anything together.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you guys: are you guys writing anything together? I mean, I know you don't have to share exactly what it is, or if you want to, but are you guys? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We finished a script, and then we're working on we have like all these ideas boiling in our heads, and then we're starting with like the beginning foundation of another story.
Yeah, we're working with another
awesome.
local filmmaker who's going to be writing with us and then shooting.
Yeah, we shot something with him before too, so we're like, we'd like to style and his organization, so we're like, yeah, we need help. we need to do it together.
So you guys are building like a team out there in Vegas.
Yeah. I was going to ask. Well, I mean, listening to both you guys and including Joe as well too. I'm in the outside looking in. So hearing you guys, your support for one another, especially in the industry, like you said, the rejection from auditions and not being able to get cast for certain roles and what have you. But I I've been rejected because of my pursuit for film. So I can't imagine that support, the person right next to you, you know what I mean? To be like, hey, I'm in this with you. We're on this dream together, this journey together. So like I'm envious of it. I hate to use that word, but I'm envious of that for both you guys. So I'm in the outside looking in. But you guys you guys are great people. So I support you 100%, and it doesn't make me jealous, but it makes me envious.
So do we. We support you guys, man.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah, Victor, you're gonna find that perfect film production queen. You know what I mean? And you're just gonna make like 10 movies together. You're gonna forget all about us.
I hope so.
She's in the outside looking in, right?
She's in the outside looking in too, right? If only we can have a mirror. But you guys are writing your own stuff in Vegas, or obviously you live in Vegas. Tell me about. Again, when I met you guys, that was my first production in Vegas. My first, and hopefully not the only one, but my first production in Vegas. I never saw Vegas as a film hub, if you will. Yeah. But I think when I was there, even for those couple days or several days, excuse me, and I saw a lot of potential. But I heard a lot of things as far as like permits and all that stuff, and just I don't know. But Vegas has lights. It has potential. Where do you guys see the potential, if there's any? Where do you guys see Vegas going as far as the film industry? Since you guys are right there.
I mean, from what we've been hearing, we're so grateful for the school that we found. It's a great school. It's very connected in the film industry in Vegas and stuff. And from what we hear, it's growing. It's getting bigger and bigger, and they're working. Yeah, they're working on, bringing back the tax credits and stuff like that, so that filmmakers, so that they'll have incentive to come here.
We've been seeing more and more projects. We've been working out here instead of going to LA. Like half of the year we've been going to LA, and then the rest of the other half we've been here. So it's starting to pick up.
Starting to get there, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you guys if you guys do make the trek here to LA for projects. I mean, you guys said you have, but is it frequent, or how long have you been doing it, or was it just late recently, or?
Yeah, pretty recent.
This beginning of the year, like half the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're open. We love to travel, so anywhere there's a project that that we can join, we'd love to go. Yeah,
that
like maybe LA, maybe Fullerton,
whatever.
That's a commitment.
Places,
yeah. So I mean, Joe's in LA and I'm in OC, and there's many things you can. I mean, obviously the terrain is beautiful here and scenery. So there's I think if you really put your time and effort into it, anything can get done, right? As you guys are doing right now, as you guys are showcasing right now. Lastly, I wanted to ask you guys. Obviously, we all this show is called Darker Tandations. Not that it's only it's only limited to Asians, but since we're all Asians, and I want to ask you guys, what's your experience been like as an Asian actor in today's climate? Now, mind you, obviously it's a lot easier and there's a lot more opportunities with all these streaming services and just to get out there. So where do you guys, where do you guys see, what's your experience like, and where do you guys see it going? Both LA or anywhere in Vegas as well too.
It's good.
I mean, we just, like you said, we're new to the scene, fairly new. We only started our journey a couple of years ago, so I think it's already started to change from what we heard. That it's widely encouraged to have more diversity in film and TV and stuff like that. So all we know is we see a lot of opportunities, you know, specifically asking for all ethnicities, you know, and some Asians and stuff like that. And it's from what I've seen, it's been great. You know, it's been a great experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And again, like you guys said, you guys were writing something, right? And like there's so much opportunity now that you can get this independent project out there. And just like that. And it's not just only film festivals that will give you the exposure, but there's a lot of platforms you can use. So I guess it's the time to be an actor and filmmaker, especially in Asian or any minority, if you will, is the time. So and again, it's now and ever. And I like your guys's I like your guys' drive. It really is. And again, we talked about age wise. I mean, we're not over the hill. At least, well, I'm the closest over the hill. I'm 40, but I like to say I'm 39 plus overtime. Right. So,
39 plus overtime. There you go.
But you know, is there any difference you guys think? Had you guys said, hey, you know what? Like, let's say you were in your 20s, or you guys were still in college, and be like, you know what? Let's go into acting. Do you think there will be a big difference then? So it is when you guys actually like picked everything up and like, you know what? We're going to act. We're going to do act. We're going to do it.
I honestly feel like it was like a different mindset I had when I was in my 20s. I mean, I'm still in my 20s. I'm just kidding. But honestly, like I feel like it was like the right timing and the right place, right time, right people that were behind us. Otherwise, honestly, probably wouldn't have worked out due to like my mindset, my you know, like my doubts, you know, like it was a lot more back when I was younger and like trying to figure out more shit. I'm still figuring stuff out, but like it was different. It was just a lot more different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I feel the same way. I think, you know, everything kind of happened for a reason,
out,
you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think everybody just has their time.
It really is so true.
Right.
It doesn't matter what age. It's not. There's no wrong time to do it. You know, but when we have those doubts and that fear is always going to be, oh, I'm too young or I'm too old. But it's just whenever you do it, there's going to be a role for you wherever you are. And
yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't think
absolutely.
It's just, it is what it is.
Right. And that's the beauty of it. You hit it on the dot. There's a role for any age. So, and again, I had that mentality too, like, oh, am I too old? You know, as opposed to, am I too young? But I think it'll be easier. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're older, because again, I'm like you guys, I always question, like, why did I start in my 20s? Or why did, you know, it's a waste of time. I didn't start until like I was in my early to mid 30s. And I was like, no, I wouldn't have been ready. I wouldn't have been this hungry. I would have been afraid. I'll tell you one thing. I would have been afraid because of just like, oh, well, I'm in my 20s. I have my whole life ahead of me. I'll take, you know, I'll take my chance. I'll go in increments, if you will. You know, I'll go slowly. But here it's like it's not so much you're going slowly, you're not rushing it either, but you're taking the proper pace. If you're in the proper pace, like what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? And there's no looking back, really. And I love that your mindset. Definitely. And we all kind of agree with that mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of actors that I meet that are a little bit older, and then they say that they were training, and they said that their prime was actually in their 20s in terms of the skill set.
Yeah.
And I just hear about them creating their own stuff, networking, creating pilots, just meeting people on set, making pilots with them. And I asked, where's this sudden burst of energy coming from, And it's like, well, one specific woman told me, it's just like, I was prettier when I was younger. I was more sharp when it came to like more just constantly acting. But I have a certain confidence now that comes with being a little bit older.
Yeah.
And because I have the confidence in who I am, I'm going for more things and trying for every kind of role. It doesn't matter, open ethnicity, age range, and she's not gonna let anybody stop her. And she's like aware, like, I might not have like the most commercial look, but you know, she knows that, you know, it's going for what you want as an actress. The skill set and the confidence is what takes you to those new steps. And
Definitely.
like just taking the first step is really important, which you guys have done.
Yeah.
So that's off to you.
If you guys want, I have one last question, and it's really piggybacking from the whole what it's like to be an Asian actor. But it's more geared towards Judy and maybe the female Asians or even females of minority that want to get into acting and they're a little bit hesitant. Now, let's call it what it is, right? Asians, female Asians in general, not just the film, but just in society, are looked at as it's like a fetish. Yeah. So, and it's always that Asian female that we have to have, you know, the servitude you know, the servitude, the you know, just the porcelain face, and just like they'll do anything for me, and you know, you can think whatever you want to think, but what is it like to really face those stereotypes? And I don't know if you actually face them personally, but I'm pretty sure you've seen them, right, growing up, or you know people that face them, and not just in film, but in society, period. How do you overcome that? Now even though that it's a lot better for Asians and other minorities to get into film, but I'm pretty sure there's still that lingering, you know, there's still some talk, and there's still that stereotype that goes around. So how do you overcome that?
I think it all comes back to what Joe was mentioning about, you know, like that woman that he was talking about, and like how your mindset has to be very like strong-willed, and like being in this industry you have to have thick skin, like everybody says. So I mean, of course there's going to be like stereotypes, of course there's going to be like typecasting, of course there's going to be, you know, all this and that, but I mean, you just can't let that get to you, and you just have to like continue to like hone your skills and continue to do everything you can to succeed. Excuse me.
Right.
Sorry. You got it.
Yeah, just like do everything that you can just to succeed is more important, you know, than any of those things that anybody tries to like throw towards you, or anything like that. You just gotta do what you gotta do, you know.
Right. I think it's very important, Joe. I think it's very important that being a minority in the film industry, or even here in America, right, that the stereotypes are going to be thrown your way, and you know, it's important that obviously, you know, we all have feelings, we all can get hurt, and we all have emotions, and it's important it's okay to bend but not break, right? And that's what keeps, like what Judy was saying, keeps you going, right? You know, so
you just gotta keep going.
You got to keep going, and right, and again, it goes back to like her relationship with Eric, right? Just that support and to drive and surrounding yourselves with like-minded people, and I can't stress that enough, especially in this industry, because you know you know, when you guys started background, I started in background. I think Joe maybe started in background as well too. The one thing good about background is they teach you two things, right? It's a saying that there's two things you learn. You learn one, what not to do on set, and two, how or what kind of people you want to work with. And I'm not saying people specifically, although it can be, but it's the type of personality you would want to work with, right? And we have to, you know, there's just, it's such a competitive field, but there's a role for everyone, and you know, life is too short. You have to be, you're everyone's privileged to be in this industry. And I think that if you look at it that way, and you surround yourself with good people and just have a positive attitude like you guys and what you're doing, okay? I mean, this industry is like, what else? It's a blessing. It really is.
Yeah. You know, and we've been very fortunate and lucky enough to meet, like, most people we've been working with. Amazing. Like everybody that we've just been very lucky.
We've heard stories, but so far we've been very, very lucky. Like everybody
knock on wood.
That's right. Energy is very like powerful too. Like if you bring in negative energy, a lot of times it's gonna, you know, result into negative energy. But if it's positive, of course it's gonna, you know, lean towards that positive way.
Right. For sure. Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, again, Joe, do you have any more questions, you think, or are you?
No, I mean, I'm just want to, you know, say that I really support you guys on your journey.
Same to you guys.
And you guys are really far ahead for people who just started so soon.
Yeah.
And I think that it kind of goes to the strength of being a couple.
Right.
I think so.
And,
yeah, for sure.
And supporting each other. I mean, that's what this is all about, is supporting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding victors too.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's.
that
I mean, there's still Omar, you know.
Right.
I mean,
I might have to settle. You know, I think the attributes you guys, these intangibles. I always speak about intangibles: the hustle, the persistence, just the drive, all those intangibles that you guys have, that a lot of actors or people that get into this, they don't possess. You know, you got to scrap, right? And look, I mean, let's face it, it's like the immigrant mentality. I mean, I'm an immigrant. I came in when I was 2.5 years old, so for me, it's built in me to like scrap at anything. You know, and that's, it just carries on, right?
Right.
So what you guys are doing, that's going to go a long way, because you guys are willing to take that extra step. And maybe because we're minorities, we have to do that. You know what I mean? And it goes in our favor, if you will.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mindset and persistence is everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, guys, Eric Lum, Judy Lay, thank you guys again for coming on. You guys have a podcast. In fact, guys, Joe, they are actually in their room. They have to shoot a podcast right now.
Well,
they are working.
Here's our third member.
Yeah, this is our podcast room, and my brother's just been sitting here patiently.
So sorry, man. I mean, like, thank you again for your patience, and you know, oh, you can't hear? Okay. Well,
that's a nice setup.
We were talking a lot about you, because we saw, who's that weird guy in the back? You know, I'm just kidding.
How we get 4 people on?
Yeah, how do we get 4 people on?
We just pass it.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Now, do you guys want to? You know, plug your podcast, and I know it's still in the development, but what do you guys talk about? If you don't mind me asking, what can we expect with your podcast, or what are the fun things you guys talk about? Because you guys seem like a cool trio. I said trio, not duo. Notice that. So
we mainly focus on progress. You know, making progress in life.
Nice.
Progress we made up to this point, and then the progress we want to make, you know, moving forward.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's our main focus. You know, we talk about mindset. We talk about experience. We try to be vulnerable. You know, be honest with all the experiences we've been through in our life. And,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, experience is undervalued, right? I mean, you know, you life experiences is I think life is best teacher, right? And it goes through experiences. So yeah.
And we love to laugh and have fun and like mess around, joke around.
I knew that. I mean, let me tell you, these guys are the chill. I want to end it with this. They're the chillest people. I don't know if you guys know, but when on the second day of our shoot, you know, we just hit it off, and I'm like, hey, Eric, what's your you know, we did the whole what's your IG, what's your contact, yada yada yada, and then Judy was right there, and I'm all asking her, what's your contact? What's your thing? In my head, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm asking her I'm asking her out. I should ask her husband if it's okay.
Whoa.
You know, I know I'm saying that. And I was like, the way I said it to her, I was like, hey, so what's your IG? What's your number?
5 people?
Yeah. And then
is that an Akuma hat that you have from Street Fighter?
Your brother's name? What was?
I was just asking if that's a Street Fighter hat that he has.
Like Akuma's. That's Akuma's.
Akuma. Shingo Kusatsu. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, Joe's a big Street Fighter.
This is a setup and everything.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're showing us up, man. They're showing us up.
I know. What are we?
Guys,
we're here in our.
Come on.
Yeah.
Join us.
I know, and you know, we would love to be. I mean, again, I'm inviting myself, but we would love to be. Yeah, I guess
we already talked about this.
They don't know that yet. So I'm just rehearsing it. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. We're gonna work together again someday. I mean, we will. I mean, again, I think all of us, and you know, good people are hard to come by, especially in this industry. And ones that, you know, believe me, guys, I'm 40, actually 39 plus overtime. It's hard. It's hard. There you go. Okay, 81. There you go. But it's hard to find people that's supportive. You know, whenever I speak to and click with people in the same industry, I'm not on pins and needles. I'm not on eggshells. You know, there's like that telepathic sense that we don't have to explain why we're doing it. You know, I get that question, like, why are you doing this? But just to be able to relax and just talk about the passion of this craft, it's, you know, that lowers my blood pressure. It really does. You know, it makes me feel healthy. It's like healthy food.
Therapeutic to us.
It is very therapeutic. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yes. It's absolutely. And it's relieving that there's really, really cool, good people and supportive people in this world, in this cynical and this crazy times we live in. So, you know, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Let me know. Yeah, I want to go on because it looks like a cool set. They look so fun.
Thanks for all three of you joining in.
Guys. So
bonus.
Exactly.
Bonus round.
Guys, thank you so much. Eric, Judy, and
Michael.
Michael, there you go. And yeah, guys, we're gonna be working again, and check us out, Darker Tanned Asians. I had to plug that in.